Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user OKCut9597. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife she makes traveling no fun? So, my wife, 38 female, and I, 36 male, have been together 8 years. We live in our home state of Arkansas. She is from San Diego. Every year, she wants to visit home. We used to fly, but since we have a kid, 2 female, she now wants to drive. I have no problem using all my vacation days for this. She lives here. Now, traveling is a pain because she overpacks. She used to fill my CX-7 full, but work gave me a $900 car allowance, and we used that to get a full-size Suburban. This time, she loaded that full. I mean front passenger to the ceiling, so I can't see the mirrors full. We hardly used any of it. Every stop, I carried everything into the hotel because she was afraid it would get stolen. It's 3 days each way. I got through it, told her she makes traveling miserable because she is also super late. Tell her 10 a.m., she might arrive at noon. So every day, we don't leave the hotel until noon, then she insists we drive until midnight. Ugh, unfun. Anyway, this weekend I was sent on a work conference. They got me a sweet hotel room, week at a nice resort, super excited. We were going to go and leave the baby. But the day before, she cancels my mom watching our child to bring her with us. Fills the Suburban full again. Mind you, it's my work trip. 5 days, 5 nights. Most of the stuff was just overpacking. She brought a tote of blankets, 1 of towels, 2 of her clothes, totes. I told her she makes it miserable. The hotel always gets cluttered and full. The night before we leave is always a mess trying to pack, and her organizing stuff she brought that never gets used. She freaked out, told me I just want to go hook up and cheat at these things. I invited her, and she is filing for a divorce because I told her you're overpacking and insisting we fill every vehicle full and always being late makes me miserable. We were 3 hours late leaving to get to the conference, so I missed the networking opening night, which is where in my industry, people tend to click up afterwards to a degree. I missed going to the best vendor events, etc. because she insisted that I don't leave because she was overwhelmed with how messy the hotel room was. Mind you, it was all the stuff she brought, took out of totes and never used, and the toddler then destroyed. Am I the a-hole? No, OP, I don't think you're the a-hole at all. It does sound miserable to drive around with all that much crap that's never gonna get used. However, what's got me really weirded out here is her reaction. Calling you a cheater or a potential cheater and filing for divorce. I don't know if she already handed you the papers or if it's just a threat that she will do that. However, it is such an overreaction, like similar to her overpacking, that it makes me think 3 possibilities. 1, she's the cheater, because usually cheaters are the ones that accuse the other of cheating, and in this case, she just took it out of a magic hat, because there's no way you can get to that conclusion. 2, she could either be going through something physiological or psychological that's making her sound crazy and act crazy. Or 3, she's just an a-hole. But whatever it is, I think you need to sit down with her and have a proper conversation. Like, is she really prepared to blow up your whole family because she felt insulted at what you said? Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Bulbasaur Ranch says, does she always threaten divorce so casually? Next time tell her, sure, I'll call the lawyer tomorrow and start that up. And see her face drop at calling her stupid bluff. She sounds really annoying to travel with. NoFix8103 says, personally, I think your wife is crazy pants for wanting to drive the 20+ hours both ways between San Diego and Arkansas with a 2-year-old instead of flying. I've made that trip twice without kids and it was torture. I feel like she's making it harder for y'all to travel. The bottom line is that she went with you on a work trip, made you late, accused you of wanting to cheat, and threatened to divorce. None of those things are okay, OP. Puzzled Safe 4801 says, the fact that she is impacting your job and career would be it for me. Not only did you miss events, but I can only imagine what your peers thought when you rolled in late or were seen taking the kitchen sink from your Suburban to the hotel room. I also would never drive a car where I can't see out of the back window and the side windows. I literally would not back out of the driveway. Throwaway Evil Cousins says, why did you invite her, especially after she canceled childcare? Since you canceled childcare with my mom, you can't come on this trip. If she leaves you because you go on a work trip, your marriage is at the end already. She's doing this on purpose to sabotage your career. And Awkward Strike 7294 says, as a woman who recently took a long, hard look in the mirror and decided that my overstimulating, overstressful vacation planning made things miserable, your wife needs to do the same. I tell myself this: we are not taking a covered wagon along the Oregon Trail. We are not going to a remote, desolate area in which we will have to survive wilderness and extreme temperature changes. Will we die if I don't overpack? Will we die if I don't overplan? No, and if nobody is dying, is it worth me forcing everyone else to be okay with my mania? The answer is no, it is not okay. I think some things just need to be said very bluntly. Tell her that you want her there, but you want her there does not mean that you need to be okay with her excessive packing and mood swings. Tell her that when an emergency arises that you had not planned for, legit emergencies, not some bullcrap that she made up just to be petty, that you will fix it. OP's edit to answer questions. Yes, I am involved in raising our child. I actually packed for our trip. I had one bag for baby to go to mom's, toys, diapers, food, etc. A big bag, but one large suitcase. I had a bag packed for wife and one for me. Yes, she was diagnosed with ADHD when she was younger. Used to be on meds, stopped taking them before she met me. She does have anxiety about leaving baby with anyone but my mom. My mom raised my sister's kids, now 22 and 18, so she loves just being grandma to hours with babysitting and weekly visits and some overnights. As for hobbies and couples time, no. She did, but has cut them. I take baby for a walk, stroller, 45 minutes a night when I get home, so my wife can breathe. She used to paint and we built her a studio. She just does it for fun, so she could get back to it. However, her entire identity now is being a mom. She always says she doesn't want to go to San Diego, then the trip comes and she does it. I am not a cheater. She accused me of it last time I went solo. I am exhausted. If she left me, I think I would be done with relationships. My own mental health is wrecked. My boss wasn't mad. He found the whole thing hilarious when I told him. He skipped half of the conference himself. My job wasn't threatened, but to me it was. Unfortunately, my wife saw this as an opportunity to tell me how wrong I was, and if I hadn't made this Reddit post this morning, I would have believed her. I have tried to just accept her issues, but it's gotten worse. When we first got together, it was she needed a large checked bag for a 2-day trip to Las Vegas. I've tried the whole packing thing for her and me. I tried doing a short trip with her. We did that a few years ago, right before the kid arrived. Told her some friends were coming to visit. In fact, they were coming to house sit. I had her bag packed and away we went. She commented at the time she loved how freeing it was to only have one bag. Now, for her to go anywhere, she needs 4 bags: backpack, diaper bag, purse, and another large bag filled with spare food, extra meds, etc. Now, she needs an entire Suburban for a week trip. One of the issues is the vehicle is so full. If it was just the back, I might be able to deal. But it's so full I can't even see the side mirror. I've expressed how unsafe that is, and she doesn't care, just yells that I don't understand. Yes, she comes from a hoarder background. She is a teacher. She stays at home right now, thanks to landing an incredible job, but she has had a teaching job. Never had issues making it to work that I know of. Yes, she had postpartum. I got her better help. Found out a few months back she never logged in and met with someone. The community agrees that OP is not the a-hole, and from OP's additional information it sounds like he tried everything. And at the end there, he hinted at something sketchy. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. About a month ago, I told my wife she makes traveling no fun. I posted before we left for our drive home. Since then, it's been a whirlwind. We got home. I wanted to talk. She said we were fine. I called a counselor and got us more couples therapy and set her up with one who specializes in trauma that causes hoarding. She did not call a lawyer. She threatened again. So I dialed one on her phone and put it on speaker and walked away. Not my best moment. However, since then, we have attended 4 sessions together and she has gone 5 times apart. I spent all my savings to hire some people to come in and help her clean for a week. We threw away 2 40-yard dumpsters fairly full of stuff. We cleaned out her car, the one she puts my daughter in daily, and established a routine of only her purse and diaper bag go up front. The rest is trunk only. I've had to go through it daily and remove stuff. I once let it go 4 days and it was full again. We are going to see her family in December. I made it very clear if the vehicle is loaded full, I am going to the airport and flying with our daughter and she can make the trip herself. We made the packing lists already. The boot of the Suburban can be full, but nothing above the boot cover, and nothing besides a small cooler, purse, and diaper bag up front. I bought refundable tickets for my daughter and I to fly to and from San Diego if she fills the vehicle and throws a fit. I don't know why I am giving the option of driving. She wants to, and I don't have the will to fight anymore. The only reason I am doing anything is because my kid deserves better, and she deserves a mother that loves her, and my wife does. I see the care and love for her. Now, how is our quality of life? She seems happy. Her family says she is happier than ever. She has always wanted a clean house and car, but fights me when I clean up, even now, as she was about to do it. I am miserable. I am constantly picking up the car, the yard, the house. I let it go 2 days once and got screamed at for sabotaging her. I talked to a lawyer myself, not to move forward, but to protect myself. My boss actually has me in line for a promotion, which is great. Only problem is if our marriage ends and she moves back to California, then I would be stuck in a 2-year deal at work. So I am currently very nervous about career advancement when I am miserable personally. My boss thinks the whole thing is hilarious. I had a near breakdown in my office one day. He heard about it from co-workers who were worried and he took me to lunch and beers. But he was crystal clear. If I sign the promotion contract, I am his for 2 years. And about the cheating, she confessed she was nervous I would cheat because I am not the ugliest guy around and you work hard, so if you hate me, then you would have options. I have no idea if she is cheating. I am kind of at a point when I don't care. I am 100% checked out. OP's edit. So many responses. Why haven't I cut the cord? Because she is my wife and we said for better or worse. How can I walk away from her when she is not doing okay without giving it the good old college try? Plus, I was raised divorce is not an option. I gave myself until Christmas 2026. If it's not better then, I am pulling the plug. I am picking up every day because counseling said it would help. And also, as people rightfully pointed out last time, my daughter doesn't deserve this. I want a clean home, so I do it myself. Is it defeating to come home every day and the kitchen table is covered with random stuff she got out because she was going to bake but never did? And the bed is covered with totes of clothes because she was going to sort? Sure. Do I want to go through the guest room every 3 days because she destroys it? Not figuratively, but gets stuff out in it or brings things into it. And I want it to be guest ready at all times. No, I don't. But it's the price I pay. If I don't do it, our house is crap and our kid doesn't deserve it. If I leave, I am hurting someone with mental illness. All I am doing right now is destroying someone, myself. And when I finally walk away, I can honestly say I did my best. Yes, I am documenting her car and the house when I get home and when I leave. I am probably enabling right now, but if it goes the way it probably will, I am going to be fighting to keep my daughter. Part of this going above and beyond is so that I can be the better parent because people before were right. I wasn't protecting my kid. As for her claiming I am sabotaging, I must have worded it wrong. When I cleaned up, she was mad because she was going to do it in a minute, even though it's been days. Those wondering about work, I am full-time. She works full-time now as a teacher. Started back a few days ago. I had hoped she'd stay home full-time to raise our daughter as that's why I took this job. Don't love it, don't enjoy it, but it pays the bill and provides a good quality of life. But it's what she says she needs. And for the people messaging me about using the word boot, I am from Arkansas, but there is this thing called a plane, and I have worked all over and have enjoyed a TV show or two that wasn't Walker, Texas Ranger. I also call carts at the stores trolleys. partly to mess with people and partly because it entertains me, and mainly because it's become a habit. Well, Opie, I understand your reasoning, but if you're already checked out and you're already planning to get away or whatever, then why not just start going through that process now? Are you your wife's current only support for her to go through this? Also, if you don't enjoy your job, why are you thinking about taking the advancement? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. I'm not going to ask them all, of course, but you seem to have a plan. You seem to know what you want. I just hope it doesn't have a negative impact on your daughter. So on that note, here's wishing the best for your family, OP. Hopefully everything turns out okay. And now let's finish the video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user Cassie D. If I don't like it, tell it to the news? I guess we're going to the news then. My mother was a truly inspiring woman. Her favorite phrase was, "Why say bleed when you can say hemorrhage?" Because she never did anything halfway when she knew she could go all the way. We couldn't even ask for help with homework because you'd be up till 3 a.m. on a school night adding one more thing. Then you'd go to school with this magnus opus while everyone around you phoned it in and still got an A. She would rarely get angry, but if you activated her righteous indignation, the repercussions would be legendary. There was one such story of malicious compliance that she always loved to tell. It all started one day when I found a dagger in my brother's room. It was an ornate sort of fantasy-style dagger, not something you would just find anywhere, and it was very sharp. We were not old enough to have something like that at the time. He was only 11. Immediately, my mother walked up behind me and caught me red-handed, so I did what any self-respecting little brother would do and threw him under the bus. My brother wasn't at home at the time, so she went through everything and found more of these knives. She laid them out on the table, and she was psyching herself up for the hell she was going to bring down upon him. By the time my brother gets home, he walks in and sees her sitting there with the knives out. He goes white as a sheet. She immediately asks where he got them. This was the late 90s and my brother was pretty into Magic the Gathering. The card shop he went to for his fix was just down the street. He spent a great deal of time there and bought boxes and boxes of these cards from them. So they knew him and knew he was too young. They had sold it to him, knowing full well that he was underage. No questions asked. My mother's jaw dropped, and moments later, we were pulling up to the place. She drags my brother into the store and puts the knives down in front of the woman who owns the place. She tells her that they had sold it to him. Yeah, so what? He is not 18, and he shouldn't have access to these. You need to tell your employees to check IDs before they sell weapons to minors. She was willing to give her the benefit of the doubt before she snapped back with, "It's a joke. It's humor. Don't you get it? So the problem is you." I am his mother and I don't think it is funny. If you won't follow the law, at the very least, I need you to stop selling weapons to my son. I'll do whatever I want. If you don't like it, tell the news. Surely this woman doesn't know who she is talking to or the lengths that my mom was willing to go for her kids. I don't know why on earth that would be the phrase you'd use. Now you are just asking for it. Mom gives her one last chance before the hammer drops. So you are saying that even without my permission, having asked you not to personally and knowing it is illegal, you would still sell a knife to him? Of course, this is a business. Maybe raise him better if you don't like what he's doing. It was like the air left the room. There were 3 of us boys in elementary, middle school, and high school around the time. She was president of all 3 PTAs for 3 different schools miles apart from each other. She was practically momming as a sport and crushing it by every conceivable standard. This woman had just slighted her to her core and now had to deal with the consequences of her ignorance. My mom didn't say another word. She gathered the knives and we walked out. Even the woman behind the desk looked a little shocked that she was just walking out. So was I. We all went back to the car and no one said a word. Then you could almost visibly see the resolve set in and she says, "I guess we're going to the news then." I don't remember her saying another word the rest of the night. The next day I woke up and she had papers all around her that she had downloaded and printed off and highlighted. She was on the phone explaining the story to a news station who just opened and responding to emails she'd sent overnight. I don't think she slept. She had been researching the laws and building her case. The first reporters she talked to didn't seem to see what she saw in the theory and told her they wouldn't pick it up. Every time she was told no, she would ask for references to someone who would do something like this. It took weeks of phone tag. She called the next reporter, then another, leaving messages and following up. Finally, she found an investigative reporter who would work with her. They decided that the best course of action was to put a hidden camera on my brother to send him undercover to buy something larger. Believe me, I am well aware of how outlandish that sounds. They met up down the street and gave my brother some money to buy the biggest weapon he could get. I seem to remember it being $120. Wired him up with a microphone and a spy cam they'd bought at a Radio Shack, and he went in and he bought a legit full sword from the place. They jokingly told him not to kill anyone with it as he was walking out, and never asked to see an ID. Afterwards, the reporter interviewed the store owner, who stuck with her old fallback of it being funny to sell deadly weapons to kids. Then, they interviewed my mom outside the shop, and the two of them argued on camera. Maybe because they had already caught her on a hidden camera, she felt the need to double down. She had to think people would side with her for some reason. She was irate. My mom just kept feeding her the rope to hang herself with, and the shop owner tied the whole thing into a neatly wrapped bow for the reporter. Just a spectacular failure on her part. It's hard to imagine how it could have gone worse. Sure, it is just a local news report from the 90s. For my mom, it was her hero moment. She knew she was right, and she knew this person had to be stopped, and she did it all the way, just like everything she ever did. In the report, they say that they went back and the place was already closed. Within a month, it was completely out of business. The reporter won an award for the piece, and the righteous indignations was satiated for the time being. My mom recorded the airing of the report on a VHS tape, and every chance she got, she would parade it around to show people her crowning achievement. She would tell the whole story, and we'd all watch the tape until it was lost to time and became a legend. Wow, OP, your mom is committed, persistent, and definitely has resilience. She's awesome. Also, OP apparently was able to find that tape, digitized it, and it's on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description below. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.